Written in these walls are the stories that I can't explain. I leave my heart open, but it stays right here empty for days. She told me in the morning, she don't feel the same about us in her bones. It seems to me that when I die, these words will be written on my stone, and I'll be gone. Gone tonight. The ground beneath my feet is open wide. The way that I've been holding on too tight, with nothing in between. The story of my life. Success does not consist in never making mistakes but in never making the same one a second time. If you have an apple and I have an apple and we exchange these apples, then you and I will still each have one apple. But if you have an idea and I have an idea and we exchange these ideas, then each of us will have two ideas. As a teacher of Greek, I gave the intellectual man weapons against the common man. I now want to give the common man weapons against the intellectual man. Beware of false knowledge, it is more dangerous than ignorance. If history repeats itself, and the unexpected always happens, how incapable must man be of learning from experience? I'm not a teacher, only a fellow traveler of whom you asked the way. I pointed ahead of myself as well as you. What is laissez-faire but an orthodoxy, the most tyrannous and disastrous of all the orthodoxies, since it forbids you even to learn? To me, the sole hope of human salvation lies in teaching man to regard himself as an experiment in the realization of God, to regard his hands as God's hand, his brain as God's brain, his purpose as God's purpose. A fool's brain digests philosophy into folly, science into superstition, and art into pedantry. Hence university education. Education can and should do much influence social, moral and intellectual discovery by stimulating critical attitudes of thought in the young. What is wrong with priests and popes is that instead of being apostles and saints, they are nothing but empirics who say I know instead of I am learning, and pray for credulity and inertia as wise men pray for skepticism and activity. A learned man is an idler who kills time by study. The only power a god can teach is the power of doing without happiness. Nobody can say a word against Greek. It stamps a man at once as an educated gentleman. The American Constitution, one of the few modern political documents drawn up by men who were forced by the sternest circumstances to think out what they really had to face, instead of chopping logic in a university classroom. There is nothing on earth intended for innocent people so horrible as a school. It is in some respects more cruel than a prison. In a prison, for example, you are not forced to read books written by the warders and the governor. Reading made Don Quixote a gentleman, but believing what he read made him mad. What we call education and culture is for the most part nothing but the substitution of reading for experience, of literature for life, of the obsolete fictitious for the contemporary real. A little learning is a dangerous thing, but we must take that risk because a little is as much as our biggest heads can hold. He who can, does. He who cannot, teaches. Thanks for watching. We hope that happiness will always be with you all. If you like this content, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like and share with people around you. Thank you.